साथियों, आज एक नई शख्सियत के साथ मैं रेडियो बूज में डायरेक्टर रेडियो डॉक्टर मुकेश गंभीर प्रस्तुत हुआ। साथियों, मैंने आपसे पहले भी कई बार इस बात का जिक्र किया है कि हमारे रेडियो का मोटो ये है कि हम उन शख्सियत को यहाँ लाते हैं जिन्होंने जीवन के अलग अलग पहलुओं में जीरो से हीरो तक की यात्रा की है और इसी यात्रा के एक यात्री को, जिनका नाम मार्केट में मिस्टर धीरज के नाम पर है और मित्रगण उनको डीके के नाम से जानते हैं, वो आज हमारे समक्ष बैठे हैं। मिस्टर डीके, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, खैर मकदम है। आज हम आपसे वो बात करेंगे जो शायद अब तक आपने सिर्फ अपने साझे मित्रों के साथ शेयर की होगी। तो आपका स्वागत करते हुए हम आज के इस साक्षात्कार की शुरुआत करते हैं। मिस्टर डीके, सबसे पहले मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा कि आप हमारे ऑडियंस को ये बताएं कि आज के दिन में क्या बिजनेस आप कर रहे हैं और उसका कितना फैलाव है, और उसके बाद आपकी सक्सेस स्टोरी को हम सुनना पसंद करें। जी
श्योर सर। सो मैं अभी रियल एस्टेट का बिजनेस हेड करता हूँ।
यस।
कंपनी नेम इज लेंथ एंड ब्रेथ।
ओके।
वी आर बेस्ड आउट ऑफ गोल्फ कोर्स रोड, गुड़गांव।
ओके।
और हम रेजिडेंशियल, कमर्शियल और ऑफिस स्पेस प्रॉपर्टीज में सेलिंग एज वेल एज लीजिंग देखते हैं।
ओके।
And we have a team which manages different portfolios.
Okay.
And we are in the business for since 2017.
Okay.
Before this, I'll start my journey. So I started my journey as a working in a corporate.
Okay.
So I worked with 2 corporates.
Okay.
Here
at Gurgaon.
Gurgaon only.
Okay.
I was based out Delhi NCR for 20 plus years now.
ठीक है.
I was actually born and brought up in Bhopal, small city. Finished my education.
Yeah.
Did my masters.
Okay.
And came to Delhi for a job.
Okay.
And I started with GE Capital at a grassroots level. बिल्कुल entry level पे शुरू किया था.
ठीक.
And with God's grace, I was able to come to a level of a vice president.
Okay.
And I did various roles in finance, real estate, quality, transitions,
Right.
operations.
Okay.
And then I was working for another corporate for 2 years as a center head.
Okay.
And then I decided to start my own business because real estate was always my passion.
Right.
And I wanted to be in the business, be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So that made sense to start real estate
Yes.
business.
Yes.
So it's been a wonderful journey. 2017, when we started, the market was warming up, which was good time to enter.
Yeah.
But 2 years later, things were different because all of us know Corona hit us.
Yeah.
So 2 years were low for us. But we did get back up, and we are doing very well with God's grace.
Okay.
So overall, very interesting journey from starting a job to be a leader in the company, and then start my own firm and leading my own set of employees now.
Yeah.
So that's the journey so far.
Yes.
And I've obviously done small little odd jobs when I was studying also.
Yeah.
Come from a middle class family.
Yeah.
So I have been a lecturer in a college part-time.
Okay. Okay.
I have taken tuitions for
Okay.
kids.
Okay.
I've worked in a gym as a trainer.
Okay.
Doesn't look like now, but yes,
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah.
So I've done odd jobs when I was studying because I didn't want to be dependent on my family.
Yeah.
That independence was there. And then God has been kind that I was able to make the right decisions and moves in my career.
Right.
And then I wanted to be an entrepreneur, so started my own firm, Length and Breadth.
Yeah.
So we are primarily focused in Gurgaon market, but we also look at Delhi NCR,
Okay.
Specifically Delhi.
Okay.
And for specific needs of clients, we do pan-India deals as well.
Okay. Okay.
And we have tie-ups across South India as well for that.
Right. Mr. DK, I happened to read Discovery of You.
Okay.
Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru wrote somewhere in that book
Right.
that we see a man and appreciate him. But perhaps we do not know how many years he has lost for this appreciation. So in your case, definitely whatever is being written in that discovery of India by Pandit Nehru is 100% true. I mean, we have met you, and now we are coming to know that how different jobs are being performed, and then from zero to hero journey is being performed by you, and the best thing is that you are proud of that, and that should be. So I first of all congratulate you for that, and I think you set a very good example for our new generation to come. Now my next query from you is, why have you chosen Gurgaon to be the center for these activities? You know, Noida was also coming up.
Right.
Faridabad is also there. Delhi in itself is a big area where one gets the chance for real estates and all that.
Right.
Why you have chosen Gurgaon only?
So that's a very good question, sir.
Yeah.
So Gurgaon, I have seen it from the time I was in the company, and I've seen it from the time when there was nothing in Gurgaon.
Okay.
I'm sure you would have seen it 20 years back also.
yeah.
So,
I'm being born and brought up here.
Yeah. So
yes.
20 years back, there was no golf course road, which is the prime location now.
Yeah.
There was no street light.
Yes.
And I have seen the city grow with me as I came to the city.
Okay.
I happened to join the Delhi office, but I was moved to Gurgaon office.
Okay.
And so it was destined that I was in Gurgaon.
Okay.
But I'm in awe with this city because of what it offers to people. One, over a period of time, we have seen the culture grow fantastically.
Yes.
Which hasn't happened in many cities.
Yeah.
So one is culture, which is the first in my opinion.
Yeah.
Second is also the real estate itself, because of a lot of MNCs which have come into the play. There are a lot of banks, for example, who have set up their head offices here.
Yeah.
A lot of Forbes companies are having their
Number
offices.
of MNCs have come.
So because of that, the workforce from different parts of the country have come.
Yeah.
And that has helped grow or expand the city.
Right.
It was an unplanned city in my view,
Yeah.
which is a very in a planned phase right now.
Right.
So that unplanned move has completely changed now. So if you see how the city is developing now, so we would see corridors in Dwarka Expressway being developed. You would see Sona being developed.
Right.
You would see upcoming areas, we will have new sectors across as well. So Gurgaon has done tremendously well in developing itself or growing to a planned city. To the people who migrated, they have also built a culture here. Now culture is, it's a very open culture in terms of, people work and then, they play. So it's a balance of work life also that you see that people are doing. At the same time, there are specific events or things happening around which help you keep busy with the social life.
Mr. DK, I think one aspect you have left, the way the infrastructure has been built up here.
Yes.
It is a contribution by the Haryana government and central government,
of course,
which has really put the things in such a way that real estate has also come up like anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the government has certainly helped whatever initiatives have been taken, and plus what are being taken right now.
Yeah.
So the infrastructure has certainly seen a boost.
Yes.
And that certainly has helped real estate, of course.
मिस्टर डीके, मुझे ये बताएं कि आप सिर्फ इन रियल एस्टेट में सिर्फ रेंटल एस्पेक्ट को देखते हैं या खुद भी खरीद के फिर आगे चीजों को डिस्पोज ऑफ करने में भी विश्वास करते हैं?
So we primarily deal in selling, buying and rentals. But at the same time, if there are opportunities that we see, we do purchase some properties and then sell them off later as well.
Okay.
But our prime business model is brokerage.
Okay.
That is the prime business model.
Right. Fair enough. आप अपने अनुभव के आधार पर जो यहाँ अलग अलग ग्रुप्स आए हैं जिन्होंने अपने आप को गुड़गांव में एस्टेब्लिश किया है, जिनमें जैसे DLF का नाम बहुत अच्छे से रिस्पेक्टफुल ढंग से लिया जाता है, ऐसे और कौन कौन से ग्रुप्स हैं जो आपकी नज़र में यहाँ आए हैं और अच्छे से एस्टेब्लिश हुए?
सर, ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, आई थिंक पहले अगर आप किसी से भी पूछे 15-20 साल पहले, तो देयर वर ओनली 2 बिग जायंट्स, DLF and Unitech.
Okay.
Right now, but if you see the companies which have established very well and doing a lot of projects in residential and commercial, so DLF certainly is
still at the top.
It is there. Now we still have companies like M3M,
yes,
Bestech, Signature, Global. So these companies are doing very well as well. MR has set up in India.
Yeah.
So a lot of these companies are doing very well. IREO has set up a lot of residential projects in golf course extension.
Yes.
So you have seen a thirst of companies which have come in last 1 decade, I would say.
Yeah.
And doing very well.
I suppose the companies like DLF have really set very good standards for other companies to follow, because still I feel, though it is not my area, but when you talk to the people, they say that if it is a property of DLF, we would just like to buy it. So
absolutely. And so see, DLF has certainly set a benchmark.
Yeah.
One, DLF has built Gurgaon from what it was to what it is in the initial stages. The other builders have only come in, as I mentioned, in the last decade.
Yeah.
Or maybe more. But DLF is the pioneer, as you all know.
Yeah.
And I think DLF brings 2 things to the table which distincts them. One is the quality of construction, as we see, and how they maintain their properties.
Okay.
And not only their properties, maintain the location or the environment around their properties.
Okay.
Because they also tie up with the government to build the infrastructure.
Okay.
Like the point you picked up on infrastructure, I didn't want to specify on what has been done and what has not been done, honestly, because there are controversial views of how, Gurgaon is also known as, water jammed and all that. So I didn't want to go to that direction. But you picked up the right point, and that's why I'm saying the positive is DLF also partners with the government to develop the area not only around its properties but across Gurgaon that we see. So I think the quality, maintenance and the focus on building the infrastructure and the environment is what DLF had pioneered.
Mr. DK, आप लगभग 17 साल से इस बिजनेस में हैं। अगर मैं आपसे ये पूछूं कि फॉर फर्दर आइडियल सिचुएशन what more aspect to be looked up by the government should be there, तो आप क्या क्या बात हैं जो पॉइंट आउट करना चाहेंगे?
See, like I mentioned कि अभी we are moving into a very planned phase.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what we have to also look at कि जो पहले sectors और areas develop हुए हैं, उसमें जो basic infrastructure missing है, we still continue, and it's not just Gurgaon, sir. It's we as a country we struggle with some basic infrastructure issues. आज भी लोग street light, पानी, electricity, power backup and basic amenities like transport services. हम इसके लिए ही struggle कर रहे हैं. Across not just this city but across state and country. So I think some of those areas on development of existing sectors, if that could be speeded up, and I know there's an agency which has been also formed by the state government to work on that, and we do see some improvements there. But since you have asked, though that's the area I think we can still look at for us to come to a point where we will say that we have made a city which is very reliable in terms of infrastructure. And
now, Mr. DK, again, since you have appeared to me having a very good understanding about this area, as compared to Noida, how do you look at Gurgaon?
So most of the MNCs about 15-20 years back set up their offices in Gurgaon.
Yeah.
And then over a period of time they realized it has become very expensive. The location has become expensive.
Okay.
So people started looking at different options within NCR.
Yeah.
Faridabad for some reason could not develop for many years.
So DK, I agree, because for a long time I remained at Faridabad and happened to know the entire development not taking place there at Faridabad. Now my point is, what is the upper reason for Gurgaon to come up very fast as compared to Noida, Ghaziabad? What do you think?
Yeah. So, like I was mentioning, so this has become a little expensive location.
Yeah.
So people started looking out within NCR, what are the other options?
Right.
So Faridabad was not an option because it was not developing for some reason, for a lot of reasons. So Noida and Greater Noida were looked at. So a lot of companies moved to Greater Noida and Noida.
Okay.
So I see the transition happening even today, where companies are setting up their offices and continue to transition and migrate to Noida. But if you ask me what is the difference and why Gurgaon is not
Has
Noida,
come up.
so I think at least till last few years back, law and order
Yeah.
was one of the things which was differentiator.
Yeah.
Gurgaon was very high on law and order as compared to Noida.
Yeah. And security part.
Security, of course,
Yes.
same.
Yeah.
And two, also I think people, when I talk to them, they talk about culture. Gurgaon built a culture within itself,
Yeah.
a city where people would like to go and live and
Yes.
spend a good weekend and time.
Right.
And within Noida, I think the migrants were not as hybrid or as culturally oriented as it was in Gurgaon. So I think Gurgaon culture, which has been built over a period of time, lifestyle, I would say lifestyle.
Yeah.
And two, the law, order and security, which has changed the situation between the two organizations. Plus, you would see a lot of connectivity from this side to the commercial side, which is the Punjab, which is the now you have a Mumbai corridor coming up, and you have all the connectivity towards this side of from the US, from the UP side. So the business connectivity to the other states is much faster and higher as being developed towards this side of the world as compared to that. While there's an airport which is coming there, and there's attraction there also.
Right.
But I still think that it will take a lot of time.
Yes.
The traffic will not be diverted to that airport, in my view, immediately. And even if it gets diverted, it will be only a fraction or a part of it.
Right.
And the entire economic, social activities is still in this part of the world.
Yeah. Mr. DK, another query which I have always in my mind, that most of the young people, the easy way they think is to go for trading in the real estate and opening an office, sitting there, and they see that how person like you have grown so quickly. So they try to follow that example. I would like you to please comment on this aspect,
Right.
and make our audience wise whether what are the things which they should first understand, see, and then jump into this business. What do you say?
Sure. See, I'll take my example.
Yeah.
So I took so many years of grooming myself in corporate, understanding business, quality, operations, HR, before I started my own setup. Young guys obviously today would like to jump on and say that I can do everything.
Yeah.
But there are certain elements which somebody has to keep in mind. One, no business, not only real estate, can be run without having expertise or subject matter knowledge. So unless you know how to run the business, and unless you know what are the technicalities of running a business, it's very easy to open an office and sit there, but it will not work for a period of time. So one is knowing your subject,
Yes.
whichever field you have chosen.
Yeah.
I chose real estate, so one should know how the business works. 2, you should know how to run a business.
Yeah.
3, you should have financial backing up.
Right.
And that I was able to only create because I was, saving for it for a period of time.
Right.
And, like for example, it happened with me. I opened the business. 2 years down the line, we were with Corona.
Yeah.
Business went down, and then you can't survive
Yes.
if you are not financially, you don't
Sound
have
enough to have some background. Yeah.
So you need to be financially sound. You need to have experience. You need to know the business. Plus, you should know how to lead a team.
Yes.
If you do not know how to lead a team, people will take you for a ride. And most important is that you should have network. You should know people.
Yeah.
Which is what this business is all about.
Yes.
Any business, in my view today,
Yeah.
if you look at any service business or industry,
Yeah.
it's all about networking.
Yes.
It's all about knowing the right people.
Yes.
So I think these 5 things, if somebody doesn't know, then they are just fooling themselves.
ठीक है, एक और बात बताइए, क्या वजह, जैसे आप लगभग 17 साल से इस बिजनेस को कर रहे हैं, कोई ऐसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, कोई ऐसी एसोसिएशन नहीं उभर के आई जहां पर आप लोगों के लिए कोई रेगुलर रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस आर एस्टेब्लिश्ड और आपके जो बिजनेस के लोग हैं उनको एडहेयर करें? यहाँ सिस्टम ये है कि कोई भी जो रियल एस्टेट का एजेंट है, at times they are doing all types of fraud with the people, and even big colonizers, they want certain people with them who can sell their things without assuring all the things. Why it is so?
See, if you look at our country, or how the real estate is in this country or our country, real estate has been a very unorganized sector.
Yes, this is what I
That
mean.
is why the problems. Hence, if you look at certain countries like Canada or US, real estate is a very, very organized sector.
Yes, yes.
It is very closely governed by certain laws, by certain ways of working. अब हमारे कंट्री में ऐसा नहीं है. But what has happened or changed over the last few years is that we got organizations, we got interventions from the government, and we have organized, or we have setups like Dheeraj, so which have given the buyer, the home buyer, a satisfaction that you can easily track the progress of your project, and if it's getting delayed, you get penalties as well.
Yeah.
And the builders are very strictly watched or monitored over a period of time.
Yes.
So that organization, in my view, is helping build a lot of sanity to this unorganized sector.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
2, there are certain forums or networking platforms for real estate people, where we get together and discuss how to handle certain situations, people, or certain impressions of, because of certain people, this industry gets blamed.
Right.
But I think it will take a period of time to change.
Yeah.
We are getting there, as in we have evolved and we have put in some structures as ourselves, as government, but over a period of time, थोड़ा सा हमें टाइम लेके इसको आगे और ऑर्गेनाइज करना पड़ेगा. And Gurgaon, sorry to say again, but is one of the fastest growing cities and has seen the fastest growth.
Yeah.
It is almost, it doesn't even feel like when you go into a golf course road, you don't feel like you're in India, right?
Yeah.
So that itself, the infrastructure development, so there is a lot of variables which is going on.
Yeah.
So that takes a lot of time for us to get there.
Yes. Now, last but not the least, Mr. DK, would you like to enlighten our audience, keeping in view the investment in Gurgaon? What do you think, in which area they should go, or what are the perspective for good investment on this aspect? Would you like to comment?
Sure. So, let's look at Gurgaon. I mean, so if as soon as you enter Gurgaon, the one side of the highway, left side and the right side.
Yeah.
So right side of the highway had its own way of progression, and it's almost progressed on the same way for last 25-30 years.
Yes.
The left side of the highway is what I can talk about, is because that's where I operate.
Yeah.
So let's look at the geography. The Golf Course Road is almost like the South Delhi.
Yes.
It's the South Gurgaon.
Yeah.
Which the prices have come to a certain level, and everything is there, infrastructure is there, and everything, amenities are there.
Yeah.
But you have to have a price point to enter that market.
Yeah.
And then you come to the golf course extension, which is where the most of the development is happening, which has all the latest amenities, gyms, swimming pool, clubs, etc. So all the development today is happening between golf course extension, SPR Road, Sona, and Dwarka Expressway.
Yeah.
So these are the sectors where most of the the investment is happening, two, growth potential is there, and three, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because of the location and because of the infrastructure being developed. Like I mentioned, Mumbai corridor, Dwarka Expressway. So this connectivity certainly gives a boost to the economic and socio activity.
Yes.
And which is where the entire development happens.
Yeah.
So these are, in my view, these are the three pockets to invest.
Okay. So thanks for your coming and spending time with us. I would like you to spell out your office address and the facilities that you provide to your clients and customers and the assurances which they provide them. Why should they come to you only? Because hundreds such people are sitting here and doing this business.
Sure.
They look for one person who can provide them very trusted dealings here.
Absolutely.
So would you please spell out that?
Sure. So the unique proposition that we bring to the table is that, number one, we are very professional in our approach.
Okay.
As you would have seen, interacted, and we know each other now better.
Yeah.
So our dealing is very professional as compared to the unstructured market that you see.
Yeah.
Number two, highly flexible and reliable, that you can work with us.
Okay.
We will work with complete transparency on your projects.
Yeah.
So you would have access to every information that you need as to how things are moving on your project or your deal.
Okay.
Four, we are very process centric. So because I come from a corporate background, I brought those process centric values in terms of how the deals should move.
Okay.
So the process, if you follow the process, you will never fail.
Okay.
So some of these are the 3 or 4 aspects that we bring to the table, which is different from the market.
Right.
And that's the reason we have been doing well due to God's grace.
Okay.
And our office is on Golf Course Road, length and breadth.
Yeah.
A1222, that's the address. Right bang on next to the metro.
Okay. So DK, in the end, I would like to know कि आप एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण जॉब्स में काम करते रहे
जी,
और बहुत अच्छे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में
जी।
अब यहाँ पर काम करने में और पिछले काम में आपको क्या अंतर नजर आया है और डू यू हैव दिस सेटिस्फैक्शन एज वेल दैट यू आर सर्विंग इन द सोसाइटी एज वेल?
Bilkul sir, absolutely. The second part I picked up. The service to society when you become an entrepreneur is tremendous in terms of when you make an impact to somebody's life.
Yeah. How?
Not just by creating a job, but also being attached to the person as a friend, as to the family of an employee.
Yeah.
That brings immense satisfaction as to that you are at least helping someone grow in life.
Yes.
So I have youngsters in my team also who just started out. I have people who are more experienced.
Okay.
So then handling them, attaching to themselves, to their families, creating value for them, giving them opportunities. Then I see a younger version of myself also.
Yes.
When I was starting out. So that at least brings a feeling that I'm giving back to the society. One. Two, there's a tremendous difference when you work for someone and when you start your own business.
Yes.
And the difference is, it's not only in how you think, there's also how about people around you think.
Yes.
The criteria changes. The family also looks at you differently.
Yeah.
You feel very responsible also.
Yeah.
When you're in a job, you have to go and do what is being asked to do.
Yes.
But as an entrepreneur, there's no one to ask to.
Yeah.
You are the one. So
Yes.
you have to make the best of what is available and then think through and make a roadmap for yourself and achieve that.
Yeah.
And be accountable for not achieving it also.
Yes. मैं मिस्टर डी के आपके माध्यम से अपनी ऑडियंस को एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ
जी
कि देखिए, आमतौर पर जितनी भी फैमिलीज रहती हैं वो अपने लाइफ टाइम में एट द मोस्ट एक हाउस खरीदते हैं
जी
और उसमें पूरा जीवन निकाल देते हैं।
जी
अगर वो एक जेन्युइन ट्रांजैक्शन हुई है
जी
तो वो उस हाउस के साथ साथ आपको भी याद करेंगे और कहेंगे कि भाई एक भला मानस था जिसने हमें बड़ी जेन्युइन डील करवा के दी और हम उससे आज भी सुख पा रहे हैं। एंड वाइस वर्सा टेक प्लेस व्हेन थिंग्स आर नॉट फेयर एंड जेन्युइन। तो मैं ये समझता हूं कि प्रॉपर्टी डीलिंग का जो बिजनेस है वो कहीं से समाज सेवा का भी एक बहुत बड़ा साधन बनता है और उसके पीछे और नीचे जो सोसाइटी को सर्व करने की भाव है वो भी छुपा रहता है अगर वो जेन्युइनली किया जाता है। मैंने जिक्र किया कि मैं शायरी करता हूँ।
जी जी बिल्कुल।
मुझे एक रुबाई याद आती है कि यहाँ दौलत वालों ने जिंदगी में अलग से क्या पा लिया।
जी
यहाँ दौलत वालों ने जिंदगी में अलग से क्या पा लिया है और भरपेट खाने वालों ने अलग से क्या खा लिया है। जिंदगी के स्वाद यहाँ भूख में वाबस्ता हैं, जिसने खुद को गवा दिया उसने ही पा लिया।
क्या बात।
तो बात ये मिस्टर डी के, ये जो गवा के पाना है ये हर फील्ड में संभव है जब आप बहुत जेन्युइनिटी के साथ काम करते हैं
जी
और सेवा भाव को ध्यान में रखते हैं।
बिल्कुल।
इस भाव से नहीं काम करते कि भाई हमारी ट्रांजैक्शन पूरी हो बाकी जाए ये भाड़ में, या इसका अगर भला हो तो इसकी किस्मत, बुरा हो तो इसकी किस्मत। तो आपकी बातचीत से मुझे ये लगा कि आप इस प्रोफेशन के माध्यम से भी सेवा भाव से काम कर रहे हैं
जी।
और आप सोसाइटी के लिए कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा करने में विश्वास रखते हैं
जी।
आपकी इन भावनाओं को नतमस्तक होते हुए मैं आपको बहुत खैर मकदम करता हूं कि आप इस बिजनेस में जहां जीरो से हीरो बने हैं अब आप हीरो से सुपर हीरो बनने की तरफ आगे बढ़े और परमात्मा आपको इस तरह की जो है वो सक्सेस लाइफ में देता है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। बहुत बहुत